Hi, my name is Matthew Jester. I'm just recording a very brief video about hypnosis and just going over some of the basics on what exactly it is. So, I have a certificate of completion here showing that I am competent in the field of hypnosis, and we'll go ahead and get started with the introduction. Please watch my video, Hypnosis, Abuse, and Speech Inhibition. I will leave a link in the description. I will also leave additional links in the description of other relevant videos. I've been abused with hypnosis, and my ability to speak is being inhibited with hypnosis, which is why I have to read everything when I make videos. If you notice me stuttering, speaking slowly, being unable to speak clearly, or any other difficulty speaking, I explain how this is being done to me in my video, Hypnosis, Abuse, and Speech Inhibition. In this video, I'll be covering a couple of theories of hypnosis, some important terms that will help anyone learning hypnosis to better understand hypnosis, going into depth on an important concept known as the critical factor or critical faculty, and briefly explaining the different techniques used in direct hypnosis and Ericksonian hypnosis. Some of this vital information is almost impossible to find on the internet for free, and even then can be difficult to fully comprehend, so I hope I have articulated and explained what hypnosis is very well in this video for you and the general public to have a clear understanding of what hypnosis is. The first theory is that hypnosis is the same thing as trance. Depending on how you define hypnosis, you could use the terms trance and hypnosis interchangeably, although I personally differentiate, as not all trances will increase an individual's susceptibility to accepting post-hypnotic suggestions or hypnotic commands like hypnosis is intended to. There is no official definition of hypnosis that is recognized by the scientific community as a whole, so either definition is technically not incorrect. According to the Human Givens theory, hypnosis is any artificial method of accessing the REM state, which is naturally active while dreaming. This theory of hypnosis would provide a logical explanation for all the phenomena that is associated with hypnosis in case anyone is not familiar with the REM or the REM state. It's an acronym for rapid eye movement and is the second stage of sleep when we dream. Hypnosis definitions and terms. Somnambulism. Somnambulism is the medical terminology for sleepwalking, and hypnosis is a deep stage of trance that mimics a very similar appearance to sleepwalking, which is why this stage of trance was named somnambulism. This is the stage of trance known to produce the most profound hypnotic effects and is when post-hypnotic suggestions are primarily given. Post-hypnotic suggestions are the instructions and or commands given to subjects while in somnambulism that are carried out upon waking from trance or after specified hypnotic cues or after a specified date and or time. Heteroaction. Heteroaction means that after successfully responding to one post-hypnotic suggestion, the chances of successfully responding to a different post-hypnotic suggestion will increase. Let's see. Homoaction. Homoaction means that repetition of the post-hypnotic suggestion will result in a stronger or more intense response to the post-hypnotic suggestion. Critical factor or critical faculty. The critical factor or critical faculty is not a part of the brain or a tangible object. It is just a concept, although a very real concept, just like the conscious mind or the unconscious mind. In hypnosis, there is an important concept known as the critical factor or critical faculty. It means the exact same thing and is most commonly known as the critical factor, although in my hypnosis course it was referred to as the critical faculty, and that is what I'm going to be referring to it as during this video. The critical faculty is responsible for processing, interpreting, analyzing, and questioning information before acceptance into the unconscious mind. The critical faculty is commonly described as a filter, firewall, or barrier in between the conscious and unconscious mind that is responsible for processing, questioning, interpreting, and analyzing whether or not the information should be accepted or rejected as true or false in order to develop an accurate understanding of reality. An oversimplified understanding of what the critical faculty is the conscious awareness and short-term memory. Although they're not the same thing, short-term memory is a form of memory. The critical faculty is information processing, and the conscious mind is responsible for much more than processing information in short-term memory. The critical faculty is capable of processing a lot of information very quickly, although it is limited in its information processing capabilities. The critical faculty is limited to processing 7 plus or minus 2 bits of information, so 5 to 9 bits of information at a time. Very similar to short-term memory in regards to remembering phone numbers. Children under the age of 7 have underdeveloped critical faculties that readily accept information without questioning, processing, analyzing, or interpreting the information. An example of this would be how children will believe in the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, and the Tooth Fairy. In the deep hypnotic trance known as somnambulism, the critical faculty can be less capable of rejecting information than that of a small child's. Hypnosis will bypass the critical faculty in a variety of ways so that suggestions will be accepted by the unconscious mind without being questioned or analyzed. Common methods for this include confusion, distraction, overwhelming processing capability, and shock. In Ericksonian hypnosis and subliminal messaging, the critical faculty is often bypassed by distracting and consuming conscious attention to an overwhelming extent that no conscious attention is drawn to the post-hypnotic suggestions or subliminal messages that are involuntarily accepted by the unconscious mind because their ability to process and or question the information is bypassed. The second method is seen in direct hypnosis and stage hypnosis, which uses shock to stimulate the reorientation response, which is a survival mechanism used to rapidly adjust to a situation in an emergency and stimulates a fast-acting pathway in the brain called a PTO spike. During the reorientation response, processing capabilities are limited, and the critical faculty can sometimes be bypassed, which can result in automatic or immediate acceptance of sensory stimuli and even the suggestion of sleep, inducing the subject into somnambulism. During the reorientation response, the mind is reorienting all sensory stimuli and information simultaneously, resulting in an overload of information that overwhelms the critical faculties' processing capabilities. Stimulating the reorientation response in the PGO spike is often used in rapid inductions to induce somnambulism in less than 5 minutes and used in instant inductions to induce somnambulism in less than 1 minute. All right. So that was one video. That was not exactly going to meet the quality that I was intending to by any means. I also want to point out, I used to work in a call center, so multiple call centers actually. I never had this type of difficulty talking. It used to be my job, phone call after phone call after phone call after phone call, but yet video after video after video after video, ever since I got hypnotized, I'm having difficulties talking, which I didn't have before I got hypnotized. So I mean, that doesn't make any sense, of course. It's just completely defying logic, right? Also, the aspect of how I even got a little overly emotionally aroused right there. I mean, all of this is, just more evidence of the hypnosis, the effects of hypnosis influencing my behavior in a manner to interfere with my ability to communicate while attempting to be discreet and subtle. So I'm not allowing that to happen by pointing it out, exposing it. Actually, in that video, so I was able to make the video very well. I did notice I actually had a profound amount of strain and difficulty speaking during the video. So, I mean, I didn't necessarily have the interruptions or constant problems that I had, especially because this video is much shorter in duration than that video was. That video was 5 pages front and back, just on techniques that they used to inhibit my ability to speak and abuse me with hypnosis. So anyways, I will go ahead and actually I'm going to update every description, just pointing out the fact that I used to work in a call center as well, and this was not normal for me to, mess up, to have my speech interrupted or in all these difficulties speaking. And I've never had any strain or difficulty in my voice, which I have with the hypnosis. It's not a difficult thing to do, to speak, right? Even when I stuttered or if I forgot what I was saying in the middle of a sentence, which would occasionally happen, at work when I was working in a call center, but not that often. And I never had any strain like I am experiencing where, I even have to increase my voice. I would speak very loudly and clearly when I was at work, which I'm not able to do in my videos right now, which is really abusive, right? Because, they're trying to, and also that itching was a post-hypnotic suggestion too. Just anything that's abnormal that makes that basically makes my videos less likely to be successful. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I used to be able to make a wide variety of, I used to make a majority of phone calls without, that were flawless. No interruptions in my speech and no difficulty speaking. But now, what I meant was, in that video that I was talking about, the hypnosis abuse and inhibition and speech inhibition, I noticed right off the bat that's not how I normally talk. I noticed immediately that I was that the hypnosis was actually making it very strained for me to even talk, and I was forcing myself, which is why I was doing this during the video. And even that heavy breathing, that tension just barely in this video was also hypnosis. So, another aspect of resisting post-hypnotic suggestions. So, I'm going to go ahead and you know, update all these descriptions just with some information about how, you know, I used to work in a call center. This is just not normal behavior. So I'm exposing it. I never used to have these difficulties before I was hypnotized. And now that after I'm hypnotized, I am having these difficulties. It's not very surprising at all. So anyways, thanks for watching the video. I'll go ahead and get another video done here. I might have to, you know, even deal with a little bit of stutter and, you know, my videos, but at least I can, I might even include something in along the lines of how I used to work at a call center in the introduction. Although I'm not 100% sure. I think I probably will. I'm just going to go ahead and add it real quick. So, so let's see. Wow, the hypnosis is repressing my memory right now. Like, this is ridiculous. Alright, so, you know, I used to work in a call center. Like, you know, I'm not trying to say like postscript, but kind of postscript, right? Or one last point. There we go. One last point. I used to work in work at multiple different call centers. And was able I'm actually going to even point out the most extreme part. And I have never experienced the extreme abnormality and difficulty and strain. I've never experienced the extreme forcefulness difficulty and strain that I am experiencing speaking in my entire lifetime am currently experiencing from hypnosis. Right, so this is like, by the way, this is kind of tangential and a little bit longer because I'm putting this on the, like, introduction here. I'm just going to say a majority of the phone calls that I'm just trying to make it very easy and simple, right? So I want to say I've never or I have, because I could say I've never experienced the difficulties I'm experiencing now with hypnosis when I used to work at the call centers, or I could say I've been able to speak clearly and quickly without any problem or interruption. Multiple different call centers for several years. Ah, there we go. That's right, for several years. And a majority of the phone calls I've made, wow, the hypnosis is repressing my memory of even the terminology I want to say. For several years with no difficulty or interruptions in my speech. I'm just going to say, and I've never experienced the interruptions in my speech that I'm experiencing right now. Wait. The difficulties the forceful, sorry about that. The forced difficulty strain. Wow, the hypnosis is really inhibiting me right now. I'm just trying to make this really simple, but like, I mean, it's very difficult because of the hypnosis, right? Like, I mean, you know, just like how speaking's not supposed to be difficult, but, you know, with a hypnosis it is. Because that's just one of the things that hypnosis can do. And, you know, if you notice that abnormal facial reaction of, like, anger and everything along those lines, that really was also hypnosis, too. It's not normal to be making videos the way that I'm describing or to experience anything that I'm describing, so please make sure to watch the video Hypnosis, Abuse, and Speech Inhibition. So, one last point, I used to work at multiple different call centers for several years, and I've never experienced the amount of strain, difficulty, and forcefulness that I do now, speaking. The amount of forcefulness. There we go. Interruptions, that's the word that I was looking for. Forcefulness. difficulty and strain speaking. Wow, so this is where the hypnosis is inhibiting, like, it's repressing my ability, like, inhibiting my cognition again, right? One last point, I used to work at multiple different call centers for several years, and I've never experienced the amount of forcefulness, difficulty, and strain speaking, or interruptions in my speech I can't even think right now. I'm trying to, like, it's like my brain feels like it's going through a washing machine. All right, which is, they told me they were going to take me to the laundromat when they hypnotized me. They hypnotized me to feel dizzy, disoriented, confused, experience memory loss, inhibited thinking and cognition, dysphoria, nausea, and a variety of other inhibiting and unpleasant post-hypnotic suggestions whenever I attempted to resist post-hypnotic suggestions or, think too much, I guess, right? And they hypnotized me to feel like my brain was spinning through a washing machine on the spin cycle, turning to mush, and they told me that they were doing all that to me because they were, quote, brainwashing me. So, there's that for you. Anyways, one last point, I used to work at multiple different call centers for several years, and I've never experienced the amount of forcefulness, difficulty, and strain speaking or the constant interruptions in my speech. There we go. That I am experiencing as a result of the hypnosis. I don't know, that might be pretty long of an introduction. I want to see how long it takes me exactly. Let's see. 23, 38. Hi, my name is Matthew Jester. Please watch my video, Hypnosis, Abuse, and Speech Inhibition. I will leave a link in the description. I will also leave additional links in the description of other relevant videos. I've been abused with hypnosis, and my ability to speak is being inhibited with hypnosis, which is why I have to read everything when I make videos. If you notice me stuttering, speaking slowly, being unable to speak clearly, or any other difficulty speaking, I explain how this is being done to me in my video, Hypnosis, Abuse, and Speech Inhibition. One last point, I used to work at multiple different call centers for several years, and I never experienced the amount of forcefulness, difficulty, and strain speaking or the constant interruptions in my speech that I'm experiencing as a result of hypnosis. I think I'm just going to put that in the descriptions because I don't want to, just waste my time here with this. And again, that itching in my shoulder, that was also another post-hypnotic suggestion, just to, make... lower the quality of my video, right? Anyways, thanks for watching.